Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of El Supercast. With me today is MSU Hitman from the Checkmate Arcade.
Hi there, everybody. Ginyu, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Doing good. Just, I don't know. I've had a lot of problems with portable electronics this last week.
Really?
Yeah, minor first world stuff, but I did have to buy a new PSP.
Oh, geez. Was it hit with a virus?
No, it just stopped reading disc after my PSP was 3.5 years old and all of a sudden stopped reading discs.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't good considering 3/4 of my PSP collection's on disc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I had to trade my broken one in and trade some other things in, and I paid about $24 for a new. It was a used PSP at GameStop, but the guy who sold it, who traded it in originally, said he played it twice and kept it in a drawer since. So it was as close to a new one as you're going to get from GameStop.
Who plays it twice and keeps it in a drawer? That's what I don't get.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be really surprised.
Okay. Well, there was a time many years ago where I would play a certain Game Boy non-stop. And I think you know what game I'm referring to.
Not off the top of my head.
No? Let's see here. A certain Pika Pika?
Oh, okay. Pokemon.
Yes. Very much so. That was my heyday of my Game Boy usage.
Yeah, I remember getting I never really had the Game Boy because of the monochrome screen. I never had a Nintendo handheld. I take that back. I had a Game Boy Color for a few months. Played a little Pokemon Yellow. Didn't really like it. So I got rid of it almost immediately after that. I sold it on eBay for almost what I paid for it. And then I didn't really have a Nintendo handheld until the Game Boy Advance SP. I got that the week it came out so I could play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, that makes sense. That's also the other game that I also spent a lot of time with. I figure since they gave you the better cards, it's how I got Slate Warrior. I was like, oh yeah, might as well play this bitch.
Right, and then sometimes you had to buy the crappy games. I remember, what was that? Destiny Board Traveler, the really crappy board game one. Or Game Boy Advance, but it had DD Warrior in it, was it?
Something like that.
Yeah, that was the only way to get him, so, I remember I had him, I went to a Versus 10K, and then the second day was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional, because obviously I didn't day 2 a 10K, and played in that Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional. I was the only one with that card, even though the game had come out on Tuesday.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Now, what was it about the DD Warrior?
I think when he was in combat, you had the choice of removing him and the attacker from play. Something like that.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
It was similar to Warrior Lady, but it just gave you another one.
I see. So if you were stuck, you could probably ram him into Jinzo, take some damage, and then get rid of that disgusting Jinzo.
Right, and see, I was I always played an Earth deck. So, and he was Earth.
Yeah, that makes sense. A little bit of boost. I'm telling you, man.
Maybe it was called something else.
Earth had some pretty decent support. You had the Goblin Attack Force, which was pretty freaking awesome. 2300.
DD Assailant, I'm sorry.
Okay. DD Assailant. I don't think I ever got that one because I never picked up the Yu-Gi-Oh! Board game. I saw a picture of it though.
If it was killed, It went out of play as well as the monster that killed it.
So
And it was-
my earlier thought was pretty dead on. Ran
Yeah.
to Jinzo and then get rid of it.
Right, and then it was 1,700 attack, 1,600 defense,
Mhm.
and it was Earth. So
Well,
a
that's
lot of
nice.
times in my deck, it could be a 2,200 attacker.
Yeah. Earth at a plus 500.
Yeah.
That field magic. I remember it. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, remember that online one that I was trying so hard for you to join up with?
The Facebook one.
No, not the Facebook one. The one with Bond.
I remember something from like a couple of years ago or something.
Well, it's gone again.
Uh,
Not surprising. I got
Yeah.
what little use of it that I could when it came back. So let's talk about some freaking BS. And I'm really pissed off about this. Blizzard getting their dumbasses hacked. I mean, what the hell, guys? Come on. Diablo 3, people putting in their information for Diablo 3. Hello? What are you guys doing? Seriously.
well, to be somewhat, and I hate Blizzard just from the Versus days. So, but to play devil's advocate, it's kind of surprising that this hasn't happened earlier, given the tens of millions literally that play WoW. It's surprising, but obviously Diablo 3 became much more tantalizing target because of the real money auction house.
Yeah. Yeah, people are just crazy about it.
And I mean, they just announced today their fix, quote unquote, for the end game, and all it is essentially the Call of Duty Prestige system. I mean, they don't call it that, but they call it something else.
Oh,
But that's all it is.
Prestige? Oh.
That's what it is. It's called the Paragon system. But, I mean, all it is it's 100 additional levels. Once you hit 60, then you can gain Paragon levels 1 through 100. And basically it's to... it increases your magic and gold find. It gets up to like 300%. And basically, if you Paragon enough, your base magic find will be at 300%, and that's the cap. So then you can take off equipment that's magic find and play with other equipment because you won't need it. They claim that let's see here, you get 15% bonus XP, and to get maximum Paragon is approximately what it would take to get a level 99 character in Diablo 2.
Okay, well, with cows... Well, wait a minute. Diablo 3 doesn't have cows.
Right.
Yeah. Without cows, that's a pretty long haul.
Right. And each Paragon level also boosts dexterity, strength, vitality, and intelligence. And your portrait changes every 10 levels of Paragon to show, hey, look, I'm level whatever Paragon.
Mm-hmm.
But the core mechanic of it is very similar to Prestige and Call of Duty. Not quite the same, but it's very similar.
Just great. Just another way to extend the life of Diablo 3.
Well, I mean, they're trying, but I don't know if it's really that great.
Oh, I have my own views on it. I think it's rather hilarious that people still want to play hardcore.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started about the have to play online to play a single player game.
I know. I'm rather miffed of that too.
And that was because of the real money auction house, and then now they get hacked anyway. So.
Yep. Well, we're almost out of time, so is there any websites you would want to give props to before we get going?
I mean, I'm always on cheapassgamer.com if you're wanting to get games cheaply, or if you want to know what GameStop will give for a game. I mean, their deals for them there is the best one on the internet. Like, for example, I got the Star Wars Old Republic Collector's Edition for $20 from Best Buy. Those are on clearance, so, I mean, that's just one example of a crazy deal going on. So, cheapassgamer.com, it's free to join the forums. That's where I go to get my games the cheapest.
All right. Well, this has been another edition of El Supercast. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.